Welcome home, Warriors Nation. If you're as hungry for headline-making roster news as I am, hit that subscribe button right now and ring the bell so you don't miss a single seismic rumor about our team's next big move. Tonight, an electrifying whisper is rippling through the league. Could Golden State be on the verge of bringing in a former MVP whose name sends shockwaves every time it's mentioned? I'm talking about a player whose turbocharged drives and triple-double prowess once terrorized defenses in Oklahoma City, and who, despite whispers of decline, still carries the aura of a game-changing force. But let's not jump ahead. The full impact of this rumor only sinks in when you trace every twist and turn of how it all began. It all started with a bold prediction from analysts who rarely stray from the script. Scouting reports suggest that the Warriors, ever the architects of championship dynasties, are weighing an audacious plan, offering a blend of draft assets and young talent to land the former Thunder Dynamo on a team-friendly deal. Imagine the knot in opposing coaches' stomachs when that rumor hits the docket at shoot-around. Did Golden State really pursue that high-voltage guard? Suddenly, every practice, every X's and O's session, feels like it might lead to the next bombshell announcement. Here's where the intrigue deepens. The initial chatter came from a high-profile column that laid out the framework. Golden State could send future second-round picks and a couple of emerging role players, each with the potential to grow under Steve Kerr's tutelage, in exchange for taking on the veteran's contract. Some insiders scoffed at the idea, pointing to his recent shooting splits and turnover rates. Others leaned in, recalling that MVP peak when he averaged over a triple-double and carried a squad on his back. Could it be that the Warriors' front office believes they can rekindle that magic, even if only in flashes, to complement Steph's pinpoint accuracy and Klay's ice-cold sharpshooting? Speculation reached a fever pitch when league executives confirmed that conversations had indeed taken place. Sources close to the organization told me that while no agreement is imminent, the mere possibility has the locker room buzzing. Guys, like Draymond Green, ever the vocal leader, are reportedly intrigued by the idea of adding another unselfish playmaker, one who, despite his scoring fireworks, prides himself on setting up teammates. Could this veteran ball handler thrive in a system built on constant motion and selfless sharing? Some insiders believe that his ferocious competitive spirit and championship experience could inject fresh urgency into a squad chasing its next banner. Of course, every headline has two sides. Critics argue that integrating a high-usage guard midstream could disrupt the fluid chemistry that has defined Golden State's identity for nearly a decade. They point to discrepancies in playing style. This former MVP's relentless drives and clutch scoring mentality seem worlds apart from the Warriors' motion-heavy offense. Is it possible to mesh those contrasting paradigms without sacrificing the seamless ball movement and defensive rotations that made us champions? Fans are already divided online, some calling it the boldest play since the Kerr-Durant coup, others fearing it's a desperate gamble that risks our team cohesion. Let's zoom out and consider the broader context. The West is a pressure cooker where every contender watches your every move. If the Warriors drop a draft asset and scoop up a veteran star, the Suns might scramble to counter with a blockbuster of their own. The Lakers, ever vigilant in free agency, could pivot their strategy to outflank Golden State. Even the upstart Nuggets and Timberwolves would be reevaluating their title windows in light of this potential power shift. Could one headline truly redefine the championship pecking order? Digging deeper, remember that this is the same player who once annihilated the league's record books, morphing from raw rookie talent into one of the most versatile point forwards the game has ever seen. His ability to bully the paint, command double teams, and still find teammates with pinpoint passes is the stuff of legend. Yet age and wear have chipped away at his efficiency. His three-point percentage has dipped, and opponents have begun to scheme specifically to exploit his weaknesses. Could a change of scenery and a predetermined bench role reignite his spark? Some suggest that pairing him with Curry's gravity and Thompson's catch-and-shoot prowess could conceal his shortcomings and magnify his strengths. Then there's the financial chessboard to consider. Golden State's payroll is already flirting. With the luxury tax and clearing sufficient cap space for a veteran contract requires surgical precision. Will they stretch out an expiring deal here? Waive a role player there? Might they use a sign-and-trade exception to bring him aboard without surrendering core rotation pieces? Each move carries real consequences for bench depth, development of young talent, and future roster flexibility. Is the potential upside worth mortgaging our ability to chase other targets in the coming seasons? Meanwhile, in fans' living rooms, basketball bar debates are reaching fever pitch. Casual observers marvel at the audacity of the rumor. Only the Warriors would pull off something so crazy. While diehard supporters weigh the calculus, wouldn't it be incredible to watch him unleash those thunderous drives on our home court? Social media is ablaze with GIFs of past jaw-dropping plays, each one a reminder of the star's undeniable pedigree. Yet for every highlight reel, there's a counter-argument charting his decline, fueling conversations that stretch into the early hours. This, Warriors Nation, is where we stand, at the crossroads of bold ambition and pragmatic caution. The front office holds the pen, weighing draft picks against veteran savvy, nostalgia against forward-looking strategy. Coaching staff and players watch keenly, hopeful for a spark yet wary of upheaval. And we, the fans, sit on the edge of our seats, hearts pounding as we wait to see if this rumor blossoms into reality or fades into the realm of what if. Stay tuned, because once you hear Part 2, we'll break down every conceivable trade scenario, salary cap maneuver, and tactical adjustment that could make or break this blockbuster move. Until then, let your imagination run wild and keep believing that in Golden State, even the wildest dream might just come true. Now, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you're front and center when Warriors News Fan Report delivers every breaking twist of this blockbuster rumor. Let's dive straight into how Golden State could actually land this former MVP and what his arrival might mean for the roster, the strategy, and our championship hopes. First, picture the trade package that would make Milwaukee's front office sit up and take notice. It starts with Warriors brass offering an unprotected second-round pick in 2026, sweetened by two promising young wings who have flashed tantalizing potential but remain raw in their development. These role players, thriving under Steve Kerr's system, could be recast as key rotation pieces for the Bucks as they pivot toward youth. On top of that, Golden State would include a veteran shooter on an expiring deal, someone like Andre Iguodala, whose championship pedigree and locker room leadership would offer immediate value, even if the primary focus is his contract. The final piece might be a lightly protected first-round pick swap, giving Milwaukee the option to choose a more favorable selection if the Warriors slip in the standings. It's a package that balances future assets with immediate pieces, mirroring the shrewd deals that once landed Kevin Durant and solidifying the blueprint for acquiring a high-profile veteran. Making that trade happen, though, requires precise salary cap maneuvering. The Warriors would likely initiate a sign-and-trade process, re-signing our incoming star to a one-year deal that triggers a Bird exception, then funneling him through Milwaukee in exchange for the aforementioned assets. To clear space, Golden State might stretch the cap hit of a bench forward with 2 years remaining on his deal, spreading those dollars out over multiple seasons and softening the immediate tax burden. Simultaneously, the front office could mutually agree to waive a role player on an expiring contract, freeing up the matching salary necessary to balance the books. Each of these moves carries risk. Extending cap hits can hamper future flexibility, while losing veteran depth could expose Golden State's second unit. Yet, when the prize is a former MVP with the hunger to prove himself again, many would argue it's a risk worth taking. On the court, The integration of this ex-Thunder ace into the Warriors' motion offense presents both tantalizing upside and potential growing pains. Envision Steph Curry orchestrating the offense at the top of the key, defenders drawn out to guard his limitless range, only to find the disruptor already barreling toward the rim for a coast-to-coast finish. Off-ball screens set by Draymond Green would spring our new guard free, allowing him to exploit mismatches and kick out to Klay Thompson for catch-and-shoot triples. Yet blending these styles mid-season demands flawless communication. The pick-and-roll chemistry between Curry and Green is second nature. Inserting a dynamic ball handler behind those two requires recalibrating timing, spacing, and trust. Will the former MVP embrace a defined sixth-man role to ease his transition or demand primary usage that rewrites the playbook? Insider chatter suggests he's willing to defer when necessary, recognizing the chance to chase another ring with a championship dynasty. Across the Western Conference, the seismic shockwaves of this move would be felt immediately. The Phoenix Suns, having built around a dynamic backcourt and a versatile big, would scramble to counter with their own roster tweaks. The Los Angeles Lakers, forever monitoring Golden State's decision tree, might accelerate free agent pursuits or shift draft strategies to avoid being outgunned. Even upstart teams like the Minnesota Timberwolves and Denver Nuggets would reevaluate their windows, cognizant that a Warriors squad featuring Steph, Klay, Draymond, and our incoming star could redefine the standard for super team. The ripple effects extend beyond matchups, influencing future trade negotiations league-wide as contenders gauge the price of counterpunching Golden State's maneuver. Meanwhile, fans and pundits alike are already debating whether this would be the most brilliant front office coup or a desperate gamble that risks the Warriors' storied culture. Some argue that the addition of a battle-tested champion revives the relentless competitive spirit that fueled title runs in 2015 and 2017. Others caution that continuity and unselfish ball movement are sacrosanct, the very hallmarks that have allowed role players to flourish and made Golden State a perennial threat. On social media, Twitter polls ask whether this bold swing cements the franchise's legacy or imperils its identity, while Reddit threads dissect analytics on usage rate shifts and defensive rating projections. Sports talk radio in the Bay Area erupts with heated exchanges, with callers split between raving about high-octane highlight potential and worrying about roster harmony. From a financial perspective, we must consider the luxury tax implications of an already bloated payroll. Warriors ownership has demonstrated willingness to pay penalties in pursuit of championships, but there's a line where competitive advantage collides with fiscal responsibility. Stretch provisions and veteran buyouts offer short-term relief, yet they postpone cap pressures into future seasons, potentially limiting the ability to chase rising stars or address bench depth in free agency. Is the organization prepared to navigate that delicate balancing act? Historical precedent warns of both triumph and turmoil. Recall how the Lakers' Big Three era fizzled after initial success, hampered by chemistry issues and aging legs. Contrast that with the Jazz's savvy acquisition of Karl Malone and John Stockton in '97, which propelled them to the finals. In each case, on-paper star power met the unpredictable reality of team dynamics. The Warriors' leadership, seasoned by front office architects who orchestrated two dynasties, must weigh those lessons carefully. Ultimately, this rumor embodies the essence of Dub Nation ambition, unafraid to pursue audacious moves in the pursuit of greatness. Whether this blockbuster trade materializes or remains tantalizing speculation, it underscores a fundamental truth. In Golden State, the dream of another banner never dims. So, Warriors faithful, here's what I want to know. Does this potential addition spark visions of another dynasty, or do you fear it jeopardizes the core chemistry that defines our team? Personally, I can't help but feel a surge of excitement. Imagining those thunderous drives paired with Steph's cold-blooded shooting gives me goosebumps. Yet, I also recognize the fragility of what we've built and the importance of keeping our collective heartbeat in sync. I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis fired you up, tap that like button, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and turn on notifications so you're the first to know when the deal unfolds. Until then, keep believing, because in Warriors Nation, even the wildest rumors can become reality.